Hey guys, today we are talking about are compound semaglutide and compound tirzepatide safe? So I know that's quite a big question, but I am someone who, in the beginning of my journey on a GLP-1, really was just wondering about this, and I'm a researcher. So I deep dived into some research. I wanted to know, what are compounding pharmacies? Are they safe? Are they regulated? Why does Big Pharma hate them so much? What about all these rumors online about them? What isn't safe? And I did a bunch of research and I decided in this video, hey, why don't I just share my research with you, make your own decisions, talk to your own provider. But this is the research and resources that I used. And spoiler alert, I decided to go the compound route with compound tirzepatide. I am finishing my 5th month of compound tirzepatide. My telehealth provider, JoinFridays, who I love, will prescribe name brand or compounds, and I decided to go the compound route. I could have gone the name brand route. I would have been kind of poor, but I could have done that, and I decided compound. So let's dive into some of this research that impacted my decision. First, I'm going to read you some information from the American Pharmacists Association. So according to the American Pharmacists Association, compounding is the creation of pharmaceutical preparation, a drug, by a licensed pharmacist to meet the unique needs of an individual patient or animal when a commercially available drug does not meet those needs. And the drug, being in a national shortage, does qualify for a compounded drug to be legally created. The American Pharmacists Association says the practice of compounding is regulated by state boards of pharmacy. Community and hospital compounding pharmacists are allowed exemptions to the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938 if they comply with the regulations outlined in Section 503A. All pharmacists and pharmacies engaged in compounding are subject to oversight by both federal and state authorities. So, compounding pharmacies' medicines are being made by licensed pharmacists, and they are regulated by both the state and federal government. They are exempt from the FDA. So let's look at some of these government entities that are paying attention to the compounding pharmacies. Pharmacists engaged in compounding are expected to follow acceptable standards and regulations for the types of preparations that are compounded. FDA has oversight for the integrity and safety of the drugs used in compounded preparations, which is very interesting. So there's oversight there even though they are not actually licensing the drugs. The Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, has oversight for any controlled substances used in the preparation of compounded medications. In addition, the United States Pharmaceutical Convention issues standards that apply to compounding. This private nonprofit organization defines the chemical purity of drugs, also issues practice standards. So to summarize, I found that these compounding pharmacies are legal, they are regulated, and there are a lot of standards that they have to comply to. Because semaglutide and tirzepatide are specifically allowed because of shortages, let's look at those shortages. So with Wegovy, which Wegovy is the name brand weight loss version of semaglutide, the weight loss diabetes version of this is Ozempic. According to the FDA, the first 3 starting doses of Wegovy have limited availability and the duration shortage is to be determined. According to the FDA, the Zepbound, which is name brand tirzepatide for weight loss, name brand tirzepatide for diabetes is Mounjaro. The 7.5, the 10, and the 15 doses are all in limited availability through G2 2024. But since Eli Lilly, their creator, has come out and said that it will probably be longer than that. So many people who need and are prescribed these medicines cannot get them right now because there is a national shortage. Now let's talk about the pricing of these medicines. I have some feelings about Big Pharma and how they price them, but first I want to just say a quick thank you to Big Pharma for developing these medicines because they are pretty awesome and they're saving a lot of people and helping a lot of people's quality of life. So we don't hate Big Pharma, but the pricing of this is frustrating. Novo Nordisk, who is the creator of Ozempic and Wegovy, which are semaglutide, charges $1,349 a month for Wegovy. Now, this exact same thing goes for $92 in the UK, $186 in Denmark, and $265 in Canada. That is frustrating. Eli Lilly, who does Mounjaro and Zepbound just recently went to the US. Overseas, Mounjaro is available. Charges $1,023 for Mounjaro in the US. It is $319 in Japan, $444 in the Netherlands. Very frustrating. Now, according to CNBC, only around 27% of health insurances will cover GLP-1s for weight loss, and we also know that that number is widely decreasing. Insurances do not want to cover these medications because they are so incredibly expensive, and people cannot afford them out of pocket because they are so incredibly expensive. These are wonderful medications that people cannot afford and that their insurance does not want to pay for. So, of course, because there is a shortage of these medications and they are so incredibly expensive, compounding pharmacies are becoming more and more popular. People are looking to the compounding pharmacies to get their medicines. Their medicines are much, much cheaper at compounding pharmacies. And Big Pharma is a little frustrated by that. Compounding pharmacies are legally reproducing their medicines at a much cheaper price, which they find very frustrating, and they have some thoughts. Novo Nordisk has a statement saying, "We will continue to pursue legal action against those who provide potentially unsafe and ineffective compounded semaglutide products and knowingly deceive patients who are seeking treatment, thereby eroding public trust in the safety of FDA-approved medicines." So right there, when they say ineffective compound semaglutide in quotes, they're clearly trying to say that the semaglutide that you're getting at your compound pharmacy may not be legit, it may be ineffective, it may be dangerous. But now with the research I've done, I don't feel like that's very true if you're going to a legitimate, regulated, licensed compounding pharmacy. Eli Lilly says patient safety is Lilly's highest priority. Lilly is deeply concerned that products fraudulently claimed by compounding pharmacies or counterfeiters to be FDA-approved Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, or Zepbound may expose patients to serious health risks. Patient safety is Lilly's highest priority. Lilly is deeply concerned that products fraudulently claimed by compounding pharmacies or counterfeiters to be FDA-approved Tirzepatide may expose patients to serious health risks. Neither the FDA nor any global regulatory agency has reviewed these products for safety, quality, efficacy, and unsafe products should not be on the market. Lilly has discovered products claiming to be compound Tirzepatide medications that contain bacteria, high impurity levels, and different chemical structures and different colors than Mounjaro or Zepbound. In at least one instance, the product was nothing more than sugar alcohol. Kind of a lot to unpack there. I am sure that there are fake compounding pharmacies that are selling Tirzepatide that's not really Tirzepatide. I'm sure that's happening. And I'm sure that in that one instance, it was nothing more than sugar alcohol. So you do have to be careful that your compounding pharmacy is a licensed regulated compounding pharmacy. Now, your telehealth or your physician should only be prescribing you to licensed compounding pharmacies. If anyone doesn't require a prescription, that is a big red flag. But I don't feel like them grouping kind of all compounding pharmacies together is very fair. Now, they lose out on a ton of money if you go the compounding route versus buying name brand. So it makes sense that the big pharma companies do not like compounding pharmacies. The Alliance for Pharmacy Compounding has a statement. Legitimate compounded drugs are prescribed by a physician for a specific patient when an FDA-approved drug is not appropriate or available to that patient. They are prepared and dispensed by state-licensed compounding pharmacies using documented pure active pharmaceutical ingredients that come from FDA-registered facilities. Lilly rightly notes that compounded drugs are not FDA-approved, but that fact does not mean that compounded drugs are unsafe any more than it means that FDA-approved drugs are always safe. I think that statement is very powerful. After reading all this and looking into it, kind of my personal thoughts are state-regulated compounding pharmacies. I feel good about getting my medicine from there. Now, a med spa that either mixes the drugs themselves or is not super upfront about where their compounded medicines are coming from, I do not feel good about. A reputable telehealth that is prescribing medications to licensed compounding pharmacies that they have also vetted, I feel good about. I know specifically at JoinFridays, my telehealth really looks deep into the pharmacies that they work with. With reputable telehealth, a nurse practitioner, doctor, provider has to write a prescription to the compounding pharmacy, and that's how it should work. A provider is writing a prescription to the pharmacy. Any online website where that is not the flow, you should think twice about. A big red flag is anything prescribing research grade medications. I would not get near that with a 10-foot pole. You do not want to put that in your body. It is not supposed to be put in your body. It's for research. It's not medically safe. Another huge red flag is any compounding pharmacy claiming to have the name brands. So you're not going to get name brands Zepbound or Mounjaro from a compounding pharmacy. You're going to get compound Tirzepatide. So that's a big red flag. If a compounding pharmacy is saying they have Mounjaro, they don't. Now, if you're interested in JoinFridays, the telehealth I use, love them. They have some of the best prices you'll find anywhere. They use all 503A accredited pharmacies that are required to submit independent third-party testing of their compounds to show efficacy, purity, and sterility. Their medicines are all pharmaceutical grade, not research grade. Their medicines are also compounded using its base form and not its salt form. The compounded pharmacies they currently use are Hellendale, Red Rock, Empower, South End, and Olympia Smart Scripts. How their program works is you have a telehealth appointment with your provider. They send the script to the compounding pharmacy. You get a tracking number, and the compounding pharmacy sends it directly to your home. It has your prescription on it. It has your supplies. That's how it works for me. And for those curious about JoinFridays pricing, there is a $99 a month membership fee, and then Semaglutide is $129 a month, and Tirzepatide is $179 a month, and it does increase with dose. Those prices are crazy good. All right, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful to you. I was like, why not just share my research? Maybe it'll help somebody else. If you want to chat about this, if you have any questions, if you want to share your journey, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I love to chat in the comments. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I would love if you subscribed. If you have not already, be sure to check out information about JoinFridays in the description box. My discount code with them is Madison. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.